Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. We are here with most of the crew of the New Moon. Everybody, take a look at your camera, wave, and say hi.
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 Hello. Hi. For those that have no idea what we are, hi. We are a D&D live stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, having 5 parties living, existing, and breathing in the same homebrew world, the wonderful, beautiful world of Estera. So welcome. We hope you enjoy your time with us. Whoops. Before we jump into session stuff, just a couple announcements real quick. We have found our players for our replacement players for the Reckless, as well as Unearthed Arcanum. So those are officially closed. Thank you so much for everybody who jumped in and talked with either myself or Kay, who is heading up the social media stuff. So thank you so much. We hope to see you. For those that were not included in that, we hope to see you soon in the upcoming one-shots that we have. Which brings me to the next thing. We have upcoming one-shots. For those who are interested in possibly playing some games during the week, we have a couple of ideas that I'm still kind of bringing up some old ones, as well as pulling in some possibly some new stories, some new pieces to add to the fun. So yeah, if you would like to check those out, those will be available in April, probably about the middle of April. We have a bunch of things that I'm having to that I'm working through at the beginning of April. But yeah, if you're interested in checking those out, you can do so by going to startplaying.games/GM/It's a Long Story. There will not be any information up there on there right now, but you can always just message me on there if you didn't want to check back and just say like, hey, can you just let me know when those are available? And I certainly can do that. So yeah, thank you. I'm excited to launch those again. Those are really fun. So also, if you're wanting to support the channel, the best way to do so is to like and subscribe where you're watching this, whether that is on YouTube or Twitch. Thank you so much in advance. And as I have been mentioning for the past couple of weeks, this is a live stream, which means that we are live. So if you want to say hi or say like "Let's go New Moon" or anything else, you can certainly do so. And I will at least try to wave. Or say hi in some way. Sometimes I miss it, I'll be honest, but most of the time I'm usually pretty good at catching it. So, cool. Looks like we got Matt. Welcome. But yeah. Please feel free to say hi. You can also check out our Instagram and TikTok down below at It's a Long Story _TTRPG. Where you can see some of our finest moments as a group, as a crew, and some of our silliest moments, which I also consider to be some of our finest moments. So, and as always, you can like and follow there, but also feel free to just comment and just say hi. And it's just nice to talk to people. So, thank you so much. Sorry, doing a bunch of things at once. Okay, cool. Yes, so I believe that is it for announcements. So before we jump into tonight's session, I need to get a recap of where we left off with New Moon. So, Kay, please take it away.
Let me cough into the mic. That's exactly
Perfect.
what we're going to do. Hi. Yes. All right. So, we opened last week on the quiet remains of Titian's trial. Physically beaten, Titian took the coin that he saw presented in the statue's hand. He found the design to be similar to the ones on Ianthe's mirror and Grian's key. In that moment, Grian checked in with Titian, who assured him that he'd be fine after a few days of rest. And while Grian's concern was palpable, he offered to keep Titian upright. I am really downplaying the bromance that's going on in that moment, but it's fine. Just go back to last week. As the two turn to the rest of New Moon, they notice that all of the guardians of the forest have dispersed except one, who looks at Grian, nods, and vanishes. Ianthe drops her invisibility then to appear behind Jet, and then New Moon proceeds to introduce themselves to Ada. The party begins to share their experiences of their time apart. Grian about his play, Jet about his
Pause for 1 second. We got the
Yeah.
silly Eevee Mux thing. All right, try again.
Hello. Okay, great. Hi. So the party begins to share their experiences about what they went through in the trials. And they start to look through other paths out of the forest. They survey around them with various skills, Adim trying to find water that calls to other water, studying the statues, investigating mysterious cave entrances. They ultimately let Titian's coin decide whether they're going to go into the spooky cave or they're going to go into the spooky path that he and Ada had already started to walk down. And the coin chose the cave. They settle down before that, though, for a short rest to regain some health and inspect all the items that they've gathered, the key, the coin, and the mirror. Adim copies the sigil or the glyph on the items into his notebook, which prompts Jet into just an info dump about how dangerous glyphs are. And so Adim ends up copying it in pieces around his notebook so that even when the book is closed, they will not touch. And then forming a new moon sandwich between Adim, Grian, and Ada in the middle. Because they insisted that everyone holds hands. They come across the name Tijdraxis carved onto the wall, which Jet tells everybody is his real name. Further in, they find broken shards of mirror from Ianthe's trials, and she explains that she saw Prisha amongst the dead former party members during her trials and worries that she might be gone. Titian I believe he just talks about the fish at this point, or did he might have pulled it out.
Oh,
Talks about he pulled out the fish that the ferryman had given him that had Prisha's head in it, or on it. And the party decides that they have to keep going, and they'll look for Prisha later. The cave comes to a dead end, but they notice a sigil on the wall that matches their items. Recognizing this as a door, Grian proceeds to try to unlock it with his key, realizing that his trial had ended with him forging a new path instead of one prescribed to him. This doesn't work, but he gathers that perhaps it wasn't him that required that revelation. He ushers Ianthe and Titian forward, and the three of them realize that Ianthe's mirror reflects a passageway. The party makes it through that passage through lots and lots of trust and illusions. And as they ascend, the stairs feel as though there is a great deal of empty space around them, and it's almost liminal. The party travels on, feeling the stairs connecting to nothing, and they hear the sounds of metal shifting. But to Titian, it sounds like swords sharpening in a forge. A door ahead of them is constantly shifting like clockwork almost, and they can't find a keyhole. But Jet, through just kind of watching it, sees the indentation of a line, which leads Adim and Grian to realize that the back of Grian's key can probably unlock this door. After Ada and Titian have a moment of solidifying their allyship, they step through the circle of the shifting door, which could have totally killed them because it was super sharp, and they begin to ascend a staircase that gets thinner as they go up it. The whole party does. The party eventually has to focus on balancing and chooses to hold onto each other, knowing that if one falls, they all do. In the distance, a pedestal can be observed from and there's a symbol on it that matches the coin. And so Titian Misty steps to it and Adim notices that all of the stones connecting like from point A to point B start falling. So he jumps to make it to Titian because God forbid he'll leave him alone again. Adim and Titian share another lovely brotherly moment of camaraderie, and Titian is faced with the choice of security or the risk of the unknown. He chooses the unknown, setting that side of the coin facing up on the podium. A shift happens, and there's darkness. But then the whole party wakes up from a coma-like sleep in a vibrant forest with rising hills. Adim can smell the ocean, and they gather that they must be closer to the coast than they were when they entered the forest. Closer to Zajar. The party realizes that they need to reach out to Prisha. Using Titian's ring to send her a message, Ianthe pours out her heart and calls out to her friend. And after a long few minutes, they hear nothing in response. As they find a place to settle, the party sees figures approaching them in the distance. One kind of seems to be floating while the other one's walking. And as they move closer, Titian can identify that one is bluish greenish and the other one is like dark and red. And when they move closer, there is a lovely moment between Ianthe and the sea glassy creature. There's like a lovely hug and like a recognition. And the male figure welcomes the party with a finally. And that is where we ended last week.
Beautiful. I was the female figure. But,
My apologies.
it's all good. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kay. Appreciate it. I'm having some difficulties loading some things for some reason. Let's see if I could still able to do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. That ended up working out. All right, cool. Yes, please take that point of inspiration. Okay. There we go. All right. Awesome. Give me 1 second. There's one more thing I need to get, and then we'll get going. Anything else to add? I don't remember if I said that or not.
Good.
Cool.
My recap was as thorough as it should have been for how long it was.
you win, Kay.
Thank you.
Cool.
I deserve
right.
it.
Yes. Okay, cool. You guys ready to play some D&D?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. I'll take it. I'll take the two of you.
Yeah. Yes, Joe.
Speaking of which,
I nodded.
Hello, Barry White.
Hi. Titian's very exhausted tonight.
I hear you. Well, thanks for sticking around, man. All right. So, as we come up from a darkened screen, we see trees. Lining a certain, just almost seemingly like a corner of the forest, that as the camera starts to pan up, we see rows and rows of trees behind it. We hear the sound of this strange sort of chittering animal. We see through the underbrush that is there a creature pops its head out. Rabbit face, large, long ears, black eyes. The only difference from this normal sort of rabbit is that you see two heavy pronged horns sticking out from the front of its head. You see the creature is curious, seemingly lost in where it is. As it continues to venture forth, there is something that we see in the background that seems to kind of move from branch to branch. Leaping quickly. It seems predatorial in its movement, but also small, not much bigger than this strange rabbit. As we see the top of the forest, the beginnings of these stalking sort of forms of this creature, we see something else come out. Humanoid sort of form. We see hooves. Brown fur. Prisha. What is your focus with this owl mirage that happened to have creeped into what you may consider to be your forest now?
She's low to the ground. Um, as she kind of like watches it move and kind of surveys. I think she's trying to gather intent. Is this dangerous? Is it food? Is it company? Is it harmless? I think she's staying low, keeping herself as small as possible to see what it'll do before she would stand up to her height and try to scare it off.
Okay. As you look at this creature, there's a sense of something that may have been forgotten in Prisha's time here. Innocence. Creature seems to be lost, a little bit skittish, as it seems to notice the endless pattern of trees in front of it. It stands only maybe 1.5 feet tall. Your only friend here, leaning downward from the high branches, watching closely, waiting for your cue to strike.
I don't think it's a verbal cue or a cue that this creature ahead of her would see. I think it is a violent brush of her tail. And I think that is the cue for it to strike.
Okay. As quick as a flash, something that seems to have been trained from time long spent hunting. For food. It's been a very long time since you've had to heat anything, Prisha. But it seems natural. Might be a way just to keep part of you alive. Flick of the tail, this creature leaps from the branches, coming down as you see this strange sort of tuft of purple fur membrane extends out, reaching from what looks to be its tail itself, except that underneath it is a giant sharp teeth-filled mouth as it latches on to the rabbit. You hear the squealing of fear and pain, only for a moment. As the creature continues to devour, leaving just the antlers. Turns to look at you, hoping that it did a good job. It did what you asked. As we see a creature that we've somehow seen before, maybe in a dream. This creature.
Is it what you wanted? Good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then my turn. I need something too. Right? Right.
Oh, I lost K. K, you with us?
Why do we all have like this epic knack for our computers just completely dying?
Yeah, incredible.
During critical character moments.
It kind of sounded like they might have just X'd out of the screen though.
Oh.
Okay, we cannot hear or see you if you're here.
I like Clinton's like, is this a D&D stream? You guys are faster than Friday Night's recaps.
Oh yeah, no, that was a joke from Clinton of how long it takes for me to get through the introductions.
Oh yeah, no, they
mostly because of them. They interrupt me. So till we X out of the screen. Cannot hear you. Okay.
Hello.
Nope, not the right mic. We can barely hear you there. Try now.
Hello.
Yep, there you go.
Wonderful. My cat actually knocked my computer closed.
Beautiful. I love it.
Love having cats. Okay, sorry about that.
Just like a pet. So I will say, as you were directing this creature, you see it does seem to gather something for you, something that you seem to still enjoy collecting, as the bone antlers of this creature are placed at your feet.
Aw, thank you. I think she's gonna take them and just kind of figure out how she's gonna put them on her body. I think she's kind of decorated in bones, probably a little bit more than before. I think she's just wearing every trophy now. Okay. Well, the next tree. Where haven't we gone? Where haven't we gone?
You see this strange kind of fey squirrel grasps and kind of climbs up the bark of a tree, where we see a mark made on it. Prisha, what is the mark?
The mark is, I think what the mark is it is a small X with 5 like little lines. It's a very crude interpretation of like her staff, like holding something, like fingers. Yeah.
As we see the squirrel kind of like tapping that symbol, the camera kind of moves to the side as we see all these trees in line going down as far as the eye can see. The only difference between them is the slight differences in the marks that were made. Prisha has been here for some time. What does Prisha look like now?
Prisha has not aged considerably. That is not a thing she can do. However, her face, where I think the last time that we had a camera on her, her cheeks were very full and like she was very bright and excited. I think now her face is very gaunt, as if like the act of not really eating, not having to, and not doing it has made her fragile almost. Um, she's got like dark circles under her eyes and like smeared mud and like dirt kind of around her, like she's been sleeping on the ground as opposed to like anywhere comfortable, or like resting on the ground. I think that her hands, like she digs, and so there's just dirt caked all over her hands. She almost jingles when she walks just because of the sheer amount of um jingle isn't the right word. Clicks when she walks because of the sheer amount of bone on her. Um and I think that she just looks dead almost.
There's a moment when you trying to get your bearings and you look up through the trees and you can see that little sort of spot. The I think there are many times when you are staring up at the sky because it itself is one thing that is constantly changing as opposed to the environment around you. You notice that just in the corner there you can see just the faintest outline of a moon as it is starting to disappear under the burgeoning blue sky. You remind yourself that you haven't marked that one off yet. Do you pull something out like parchment or, mark on your staff, something like that? Cannot hear you.
I think that she takes a notch with her thumb into the staff, kind of where she holds it, and just kind of digs it in there. And to that end, I think that you'd see a great many notches, probably down the entire length of where she's been holding the staff. So even as the wood knots are kind of getting shaved down a little bit where she holds it, there's these clear defined like lines.
As you look at this, you can't help. It's in the time that is spent here, there are certain things that help to keep you sane as you You know the number, but you can't help counting how many notches are here. We cannot hear you.
I think she's counting to herself.
Mhm.
And the number just keeps getting higher as she kind of like traces it down her staff. 77, 70, 77, 77. Well, that's new. That's new. 77 is more than 76.9. 77 months.
Dead Mother Eugis has taught you basic understandings of math, what would be considered to be years in the material world. 6 years, 5 months. In this very moment, you hear this strange sort of wind kind of push through from a nearby brush. It is different, and anything different is scary.
Her ears twitch and she like whips her head over, like staff at the ready.
You just see movement of the wind.
You might as well come out.
Different direction now.
I think. Actually, I know. Prisha is going to fire off a thorn whip in the direction of the new direction it's moved, whatever it is.
Okay.
It is a melee spell attack.
Beautiful. Give me an attack roll.
That would be a 21.
21. The blind shot, hoping for the direction of the sound being something that you're able to connect with as that whip comes flying out of your staff in that direction, you feel it wrap around nothing as it comes back to you.
Fine. Fine. It's fine. But she's not going to move. She's just going to stay kind of on guard, shoulders braced, kind of clutching onto her staff. Almost like if it weren't a magical item, she'd have broken it by this point.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you see the light start to break away. As you see a shadow along the ground creeping closer, but it itself is a blanket of darkness stretching out as wide as you can see, as if the sun itself is being blocked out. It gets dark.
I'm not counting you as another day.
I am thee. Green. Titian. Adim. Jet. As you hear this disembodied voice that you know all too well, that you had been running from for years. You hear it speaking in your head. Hello, little pet.
What about them?
I was just trying to make sure you remember them.
I would never forget them.
Funny. It seems they've forgotten about you.
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
How long have you been trekking through this forest, marking your path, trying to find an edge?
You know, I don't need to tell you.
I do like our little games. But you have ceased running from me. Is that because
not.
you wish for me to end it?
These little games stopped being scared.
A shame. Fear. One of the cleanest emotions to remind ourselves that we wish to be alive. A strange notion in your case.
If I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be. And I think that her hand twitches on the staff to like a pocket, like very near to where she's holding it. I don't think she grabs for the pocket, but I think her hand twitches toward it, where she has, I think it's the death seed. So sorry. Should know this. It's the seed that Denmother gave her that was
The death root?
basically death root. Thank you. That she had passed one to each party member and kept one herself. And I think that like instinctively her hand flinches towards it. Just I don't have to be here, but I am. I don't have to be afraid.
Your lack of interest in our game makes me feel that I should leave you alone here as well.
No.
Then run.
She bolts.
As you do, you feel the shadow creeping back behind you as you're able to move out of its way for a second. As you're darting through, you see that this strange squirrel that kind of follows you is moving from tree to tree, screaming in its own way, as there are these sounds of crunching forests, of screams of what you've defined as loved ones long lost. Memories start to flood back into your head of every single time you felt lost, scared, alone. As you are trying desperately to beat out the darkness to get to the light. Give me an athletics check.
Dirty 20.
Cool. The dirty 20, you're able to move forward and forward past until you see there's a break and an opening through the trees that for a second even gives you a sense of hope of maybe that's something else. Maybe I finally reached the end. And then you see the markings of the dirt path as you run and know that at least the light cannot touch you, or the darkness cannot touch you there. As you dive and jump head first, scraping your body along the dirty gravel road. The path that you once traveled down long ago. Darkness stops. Good.
She doesn't
little-
stay.
Good little Satan. Keep me happy. The darkness moves away.
Yeah. Trisha screams. Just blood-curdlingly screams. Like frustration, anger, fear. But I don't think she stands yet. I think she just sits on the path, feeling kind of useless.
Give me a... Actually, no. You would see this. As you're sitting there, you right yourself enough to be able to go from a laying position to a sitting or kneeling. And you notice there's this hole near the path. You see that you, at one point in time, decorated pieces to remind you of where you were from. At one point, you had tried to build a shelter in one place. But that was years ago. It's been a very long time since you've seen it again.
How far off the path is it?
It's say it's only about 30 feet from you.
I think despite the road rash she's now given herself on the gravel, I think that she will stand up, kind of amble towards it. I think that she expects that it's going to hurt to see it, but she's going to go.
Okay. As you move closer to it, there's a moment of confusion as you see light leading down the path, as it was probably something that was dug up under the roots of a tree that was close to the path. But you see the light seems to continue on inside it, and it's not whatever excuse of sunlight this place holds. It's something far deeper, far golden. You've memorized every nook and cranny of this place as far as you know. You know what it looks like for every sunrise, every sunset. You've been alone besides the 3 or so years that this creature has come back. This squirrel has come back to spend time with you. So when you see that something is in that cave that is pushing light, what do you do?
She scrambles for it. She has to know.
As you scramble, moving yourself over the boundaries of the decorations that you've put around the hole here, what is one of the pieces that you stepped on that was a memory of your past, something that you kept here?
Jet scale. At some point it had fallen off of her staff, and she needed it somewhere safe. And so she put it here to remind her of like the first friend that she made outside of Den Mother, and what that friendship led to, like Alyssa and the party.
As you step on it, crunching it into the ground, I don't even know if Prisha is necessarily aware. There's something new, there's something interesting, and for once it is not the darkness. Prisha, as you move forward, you come face to face with a strange creature. A being of light, slight female form, somewhat greenish skin that almost seems like it's light reflecting off of it, and knowing that it has to show itself in some other shade other than the bright golden light that's there. Goodness. Is this place yours?
It used to be. I'm sorry it's not much.
Oh, that's all right. Immortal, so privy to building yourself into things of survival but lack of beauty. Apologies for intruding. What's your name?
Prisha.
You say that like it's been a while since you've used that word. How long have you been stuck here, Prisha?
almost 6.5 years.
Just lets you drop that little bomb and then you're out.
Right? Joe said, see you next week. Have a great time.
He goes, see you next Tuesday, guys.
Apologies.
Oh, that was heartbreaking, Joe.
All right. 6.5 years. Oh, that's from the material world, yes?
Yes.
Oh. That's a lot for you.
You remind me of somebody.
Who do I remind you of?
A friend. You're more green than she was.
Green. Oh, yes, yes. This refraction of light down here has to connect to something, so I assure you I am all light.
What are you? Who are you?
I will answer both. Esseles. No, I don't imagine that you know of me. You're one of the lost ones, yes?
I don't know what that means.
I see the horns curled. The strange, furry feet. Sorry, that is just where I come from. It is a strange deformation of humanity mixed with animal.
I don't know. Someone once called me a French Leonin.
I have no idea what that means at all.
I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've talked to anybody who hasn't chastised me for not being afraid of them.
Yes. 6 years, 5 months.
Yes.
Well, you have been traveling with one of my companions. I do need to get them back. I have a job for them to do. I couldn't hear you, Ken.
Wait, the squirrel?
Yes, that would
No.
be. Yeah,
You can't take him.
I assure you I can.
Please.
Ah. You've grown fond of things that have a heartbeat. I understand. Well. Prisha, is it?
Yes.
Prisha, I imagine there may be a time when my friends... Sorry, that felt so gross to say. My underlings will possibly pass by this very forest and would need help getting out. Perhaps you will be able to see your squirrel friend then.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. Such sadness in the mortality of creatures.
I feel you have the power to take things out of here.
Yes.
I go anywhere.
I have no need for a satyr, dear.
Right. Neither does anybody else.
Well, that may be entirely true. I don't know. Look, there is a piece of me that likes to imagine that when I leave, some people they are. They'll think of me somewhat fondly, so I cannot take you out of here. Clearly, you are a plaything to the Nathalis that lives in this forest. I could take care of it, but that would be... There's a lot on my plate at the moment. So, tell me what I can do for you.
A message. I need to get a message out.
Yeah. Oh god, you're not one of those clerics, are you?
No. She's just gonna kind of like amble back a little. Do I look like a cleric?
I have no idea. It's been a while since the Feywild has tried to allow themselves to connect to anything other than those like me.
I don't care about gods. I don't care. I need to tell my friends I'm safe, or at least a lot around.
I see. So they can also be trapped in here with you?
No, so they remember me?
Ah. I see. So
It
you're
keeps telling
one...
me
Go ahead.
It keeps telling me they'll forget me, and if I can make that not true, then it's one less thing for me to be scared of.
Oh. Yes, well. Oh. I don't really feel like having to... You're pretty desperate, aren't you?
6.5 years. Yes, I'm pretty desperate.
Like I said, I assume that is a long time for you.
It is. Yes, that is a correct assumption.
Well, tell me, in that 6.5 years, Pricka,
Mm-hmm.
what have you done when the Nathalis showed up?
Yelled at it, ran back to the path, tried to ignore it, hit it with things, tried to hit it with things, growled.
See, the Nathalis works as a spirit of one thing. Hunger. It feeds. In this case, it sounds like it feeds on fear, even A creature frightened will lash out. I would say simply just find a way to no longer be afraid of it.
I feel like that's really easy coming from something that's glowing.
Well, we all can't be me. But if you value your life or whatever is left of it, maybe you find a way. As far as your message, I will see what I can do. It does seem like there is something that is caught in the briars of this place. Some sort of message that was sent to you ages ago. I can free that.
Yes, please.
Very well. Chelsea, would you mind giving me a paraphrasing version of the message that Ianthe sent?
Oh, gosh.
6.5 years ago.
It was something along the lines of, if you can hear us, please say something. And if this is the last thing I ever say to you, I need you to know that it's been wonderfully unexpected knowing you, because you are odd and interesting and kind and good. And, well, this group, we were friends before we knew you, but you made us a family. And we miss you and we need you.
It's a shame. Might have been a good message to hear a long time ago. 6.5 years, they're probably dead. I don't know exactly how long you people last.
He sounds exactly like I hoped he would. I think this might be the first time Prish has laughed in a few years.
That muscle, that sort of part of you seems to kind of expand throughout your whole body as you're having to kind of revitalize it for a moment. And you see Esselise kind of like eyebrows raised, smile kind of widens. Oh, very nice. We may have a little full crazy under there. You are from the Feywild.
I'm a dead satyr. There is nothing but crazy.
Oh, I'm liking you more and more, Percy?
Close? Yeah, Percy's great.
Percy. Well, Percy, what would you like me to send to them, knowing that it has been quite some time and it may reach them the next day, it might reach them on their deathbed?
I love you. That's all.
I like it. Short, simple, sweet. We get the idea. And they'll feel very guilty if they've forgotten about you since then. So it's very worth it. Well,
Grian
I need to take...
would feel very guilty.
Grian. Is that a... That's a person? Understood. Yes. Well, I'll try to find a way to send this out, Percy. In the meantime, I do need to take your only friend in the world here. Come, dear. You see the squirrel that has been with you kind of moves, and you've noticed, like, since your years you spent together, you notice that the creature itself looks like a normal squirrel, except for its lack of mouth on its face, as you know, whatever it carries inside its tail seems to do most of the eating, at least. But you see it kind of look at you and just...
I think she's gonna reach down and like pet its little ears. Thank you.
Climbs up Esseli's arm onto the shoulder. Well, best be off. Good luck.
Thank you.
Try not to be scared.
I will try not to be scared.
Not that I care if you do or don't. I just think it might be interesting to find you someplace other than this.
Oh, me too.
But, Ta. You're in pitch black.
My face hurts.
You hear from outside the cave entrance. And as the scene starts to close, what do we see from Persia?
I think she reaches for the scale that she stepped on, seeing if there's any like tangible piece of it that didn't crack under her hoof, as she just kind of sits there in the dark.
Okay. And as the scene starts to come to a close, we hear that whooshing sound again. Whispers, sounds of different figures, of memories lost to time. We fade to black. Thanks, Persia. We come back to a midday. The sun has been bright in the sky, but you see that it is now probably moving down closer to about 4 p.m. maybe, as we see the new moon gathered around these two figures. One of them, this strange amalgamation of dark obsidian, rock, crystal, and this flaming hot sort of magma that moves through as if representing not only veins but the what would be considered to be inner organs of this figure. And this other figure that is just at this point letting go of Ianthe and embrace. I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
I think I don't even know where to start asking questions. But I think perhaps, if it's all right, could you lead us to an inn or something?
Oh.
It's been a long journey here.
Yes, you all seem rather tired. Well,
The forest sort of took it out of us.
I can only imagine. It is a strange entrance to bring you further up ahead without you being... It's a lot. Would you rather spend time here with us in resting and making sure that you're able to have fresh eyes to connect with all that we have to show you?
Is it dangerous? Should we be prepared?
I would say, in a way, it's the least dangerous place in all of the material world.
If your recommendation is that we rest here for a day, will you return tomorrow at this time?
I was hoping I might be able to keep you all company, both of us.
I mean, it's not solely up to me, Jet. Do you think we could have a couple of house guests tonight?
Yes.
You see the rock figure kind of like nod in agreement and understanding, looking at, taking a moment. It's hard. You don't see pupils, but you see that he's taking a moment to kind of look around at everyone before resting on Adim. Adim, you hear in Primordial. Can you understand me?
Dean cocks his head. Was that like a actual sound, or was it in my head?
It was an actual sound. The rest of you hear this sort of strange sort of amalgamation of like cracking rock and like popping sort of sounds.
I just nod and Primordial say yes. And smile at him.
Words hard to express in our excitement. I apologize. I know not the common tongue.
I kind of look around. Does anybody else seem to understand him?
Unless they speak Primordial.
I'm not sure if I forget who speaks what. No one speaks Primordial. Okay.
No, but I have the gem of translation going, probably. Maybe.
Okay. So I look around. Is Ianthe using it?
It has comprehend languages, but
it's
not cast yet.
Yeah.
Ianthe, does it seem like you understand him when I look over at you?
I mean, I probably would have clicked it on as they were coming. I don't know. I don't really know the mechanics.
I think Green was like, "Yo, get the show ready," as they were approaching. I'm pretty sure I said that.
Okay. Then I'm like, well,
we'll say yes. I have it up and going.
Okay. I said I can understand you without help, and my sister can understand you right now. I'll point to Ianthe. But I can translate for you if you want to say something to everybody. This is all in Primordial.
I can also let him speak for an hour at a time to all of us, and we'll all understand him.
Do you say that to me?
Yeah.
Okay. And I said my friend here can also cast a spell so that they can all understand you, and you can understand us.
Would this be a spell that is cast upon me?
I translate that to Jet, and Jet says yes. Yes, it would be a spell that's cast upon you.
I would rather not.
then
At
you
first.
and I have a lot in common. I think we might become friends. So I'll look at Jet and say, no, thank you. I will just translate for you then.
Please just let them all know that we mean no harm at all.
He wants me to let you all know that they don't mean any harm to any of us.
I realize that I'm new to this group, but is the sleeping with new random people who speak in grinding stone sounds, is that not a group discussion? I'm just curious.
I mean, typically I take that as like a solo activity, but
Kadeem's actually
I like
laughing
you.
out loud.
The more I get to know you, Sunboy, the more I like you. However, I just mean,
I'll be honest with you, Ada, this is the first time this has come up. So we're in uncharted waters here.
that is actually the most surprising part of this conversation.
I do my best to translate into primordial for him without being
rude. Cool. You see, he doesn't seem to really understand the joke for sure, and it seems like also the what the heck are these guys' names again? So Iscarval, and then Ordasai.
You know what? Assuming that Ademus picked up on Grian, which it'd be almost hard not to, he'll quickly explain the joke to him in primordial, letting him know that Grian is probably interested in primordial.
I was using. Yeah, I mean, yes, but like I was using Kay's own phrasing against them.
Beautiful.
So he just informed them, just like.
I see. Well, I don't find his form displeasing. It is something that is not normally done without some sort of connection.
I understand that. I'm just letting you know that Grian seems interested.
Well, feel free to let Grian know that I will be happy to find a way to conversate when available.
Grian?
No,
the gentleman here is going to find a way to be able to have a conversation with you as soon as he's able.
You see Iskar just kind of turn and look. It is a very strange thing that most of the males seem to find that sort of thing pertinent to get out of the way. Is that something that you find similar in your side of the world?
Yes.
And this is in common, obviously, so everybody hears this.
Yes.
I mean,
he just raises his eyebrow.
Present company included? Yes.
I mean, I also find it, super helpful to understand each other in a conversation. Because Grian had, no idea. Like, Adeem definitely took the idea and ran with it. And Grian's like, talking to each other is a simple, normal exchange.
That is very fair. I apologize for my brother's lack of being able to speak your tongue. It is something that was not designated to him when the time comes. I was to be the main communicator, as well as the Grand Elder.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I'm happy to translate.
Thank you. She's speaking in common, so
I know. I'm just replying to her.
Gotcha. Yeah. It is very useful to have people that are speaking the prime tongue.
I do my best.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, I could read it if we just write down. I could.
interesting. You can read it but not speak it.
Yeah.
Magically.
Ah, yes. That form is not as familiar to us.
Magic
Well.
is not welcome here?
Not at all. It's just different.
I think Ada doesn't have the ability to subtle spell, but I think she is going to cast comprehend languages on herself, just like so that she doesn't feel left out of this conversation.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, what is the components for that? Do you is it verbal and somatic or
Soot and verbal, somatic, and material, but it's
Cool.
soot and salt.
Cool. So yeah, you see just Iskar kind of just turn. A very good example. Our understanding of a connection to the weave is similar to how you all need a certain amount of water to survive. We exist and live in a constant ocean.
I don't mean to sound rude, but what's the weave?
Oh. Interesting. I would call it the primary source of what you would refer to as magic, something that is extended out from a place beyond where beings of all powers can connect with it, harness it, and distribute it for those that do.
After hearing that, Jet's gonna kind of just use like Mage Hand and different like cantrips and see if is it the area that makes it like is it more potent?
No, it seems like she's talking about more like them.
Oh, gotcha. Understood.
But I will say, Jet, give me a history check.
Okay. I'm good at those. That is a 24.
Okay, cool. The 24, there has been there's probably been some books that you found that were not considered to be like correct sort of like published works in school of the idea of the concept of rather than having magic that that consists of being from these deities or these higher power beings, but really it's something that may have been a connection to a pool or a resource of what we would call magic. Those are considered to be at best like true like theories that carry no weight. At worst considered to be like especially for like religious sort of like affiliation sort of things would just consider that to be just I mean truly there's pagan.
Jet's making mental notes to write all this down later. Like, okay, so this is how this works, you know. Well, if everybody's ready, and Jet will pull out his spear and begin to cast Golder's Tower.
Okay. You got it. Yeah, you mentioned a little bit last session, but go ahead and describe what it looks like, if you don't mind.
So, upon completion of the dance, I pictured Jet as like stomping and moving around, tracing with the tip of the spear around the circle that becomes the tower. But when he casts it and it finishes, it's actually a massive dragon's tooth that goes up. Let me make sure I have enough spell slot to do more than 2 stories. I do. So it's 3 stories tall. And it's definitely a little different than last time. Instead of like a solid like wooden door, it's more of like just a sliding door to enter it now, kind of like sheets across the front of it. And when you walk in, the whole first floor is in like an outdoor bath with a small walkway that goes to the ladder leading to the second floor. And On the second floor is Jet's study. It's just and all of the torchlight inside is green flame.
Nice.
And Jet's study, on the wall behind his couch above it is a carving. Actually, not yet. He's going to carve that in later. But on the third floor is is the bedrooms for everyone. So basically, as you go up the ladder, on the far left side or the far wall, there is hanging there is a net hammock right next to a window. And then above it is carved. Let me tell you exactly what it says, because everybody has their name tag in Draconic above their
Beautiful.
beds.
I love it.
So in Draconic, above the window, there it says Adim, and then it says the Maelstrom of Blades, as in maelstrom, as in a whirlpool. Next is a bunk bed, but the bottom bunk is like a 4-poster bed, and it starts with sheets that go from the top down, from the second bunk down, that start orange and go blue as they go down. And right outside of it is another little scratching of Draconic that says Ianthe, and then it says the Siren of the Seas. And then above it, the top bunk has a little carving and has a window wide enough for someone to crawl and sneak out of. And that area is it says Grian, and then it says Guiding Light, and there's actually like a 5-foot post that goes outside, so you can kind of sit there and play your violin outside or crawl into your bed, so that you can sneak in and out, because we all know what Grian's about. Next, on the floor is a large. There's only one way to describe this: a large beanbag, and it says Titian above it. And it says the bulwark against darkness. Next is a black framed bed with bone white going from the on the frames of it, and above it it says Prisha, and then it says Death's Warm Embrace above it. And he kind of gets up to the third floor and looks through it, and then he just snaps his fingers and it disappears, and then he sneaks back to his study and writes Prisha Death's Warm Embrace above, signing it with his own, so that it is permanently put in his tower, in his study.
Beautiful.
Yes, so everybody Nathan has their own room.
Please take a point of inspiration for that. That is lovely. I love that so much. Very nice. Yeah, and I'd say honestly, like it makes sense, unless you wanted to continue like a specific sort of part of this conversation. Makes sense that you guys kind of just like kind of collect yourselves and like sort of like get to a point of rest. Obviously, you can still have like a conversation, put like a campfire out and that sort of thing. But you're beginning sort of your rest a little bit earlier. So yeah, anything you guys want to do specifically during this time as you're about to bed down for the night?
Deem, when he goes upstairs, because he'll look around for the first time, he sees it, and he takes a careful breath and puts his bag next to it before he comes down to talk. Just kind of showing to Jet for the first time, I will sleep. And
I love it.
Puts it back down and comes back downstairs. And he makes sure, he doesn't make sure Jet sees it, but I think that for the camera, the camera makes sure Jet sees it.
I like it.
I think in that same echo. Okay. I think in that same vein, like Grian goes to his bed and he kind of like takes off his armor, obviously for the first time in a while. And as he like undoes the breastplate, I think it just starts to fall apart as it was crushed in the forest. And as like he is able to relax and release that tension, the breastplate itself falls apart. So he's kind of left with these metal pieces. And he'll pile that in the bed with the rest of his stuff before heading back downstairs to meet everybody else.
Beautiful.
Through the stairs.
Yeah. I love it. Anything else?
I think Ada who does not have a bed with a cool little thing about it. So she has comprehend languages up, which allows you, if you touch the text, to know what it says.
Mhm.
And I think that she kind of goes through all the beds when she notices that there's like writing above them. Like she's not going through people's things, but I think that she's like touching the carving. And she's kind of, for lack of better word, I think gathering intel on like how this group interacts with each other because she doesn't know. And so like she just knowing how Jet views his party members is like all the information she's trying to glean. And I think that she kind of pauses on Prisha on her little carving. Um, because the only other context that she has for Prisha is what Ianthe said in the message. Um, and I think she's just gathering this information. I don't think she's doing anything with it. I just think she's gathering it, trying to kind of understand where everyone's at.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
I'm sorry, Jet would make you a bed, but it would just be a plain bed. He would go back up there. Once he realizes you're over there, like, looking, he's like, uh-oh, here you go.
Thank you, Jet. Jet, to Drexus?
Just call me Jet.
Jet Black, yes. Okay, great. Bringing back the joke, guys.
Beautiful.
Hey.
Cool. Tishian, anything, I know it's kind of hard to speak, but feel free to just say that if there's anything specific that Tishian's doing right now.
No, I think, I mean, it feels like we're going towards a long rest, but Tishian's the one that needs it very badly.
Yeah.
I sort of have been picturing Tishian, as this whole encounter's been happening, him sort of sitting crisscross applesauce in the dirt, staring blankly off into the distance, just like zoning out. Like, you know, when you're so tired that, like, you just can't take it. So I think as soon as Jet creates Tishian's beanbag bed, he's gonna walk upstairs very slowly. And whereas like Adim's been taking his stuff off and been like putting it very exactly, Grian's like taking stuff off and like putting it down. Tishian gets right up to his beanbag bed and instantly falls to his knees and falls face forward into it and like falls asleep. And in my mind, even like maybe breaking the seams of the beanbag a little bit to where some of the pellets fall out onto the floor. So yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and like get that head start on that sleep for sure in this moment. Unless someone wakes me up to like have a conversation, that's where I'm at.
Beautiful. Yeah, you just fold his.
If Adim sees that or even hears it as he's leaving, he'll come back and just make sure he's comfortable. Like not tuck him in like a little kid, but make sure he's covered. Like, is he gonna like strain his arm that way, or just make sure he's comfortable, and then leave him.
I love that. Nice. Cool. I think as most of this is happening, Ianthe, you notice that Iskar doesn't really seem to leave your side too much. Interested in in anything that you would like to show her. She seems to be very very curious.
I think I would start to awkwardly give her a tour. This is where Adim, my brother, sleeps, and this is mine. Over there is Prisha, who's not here now, but she'll be back eventually.
Do you sleep every day?
We try to. We should. Get a little useless if we haven't. Oh. Sorry, I can't concentrate over Tishy and snoring.
Oh, that's what that is. I thought he had trouble breathing.
You could argue it's a combination of the two.
I see. Should we do something to help?
No, he's fine. He'll wake up.
Earplugs help.
Oh, yeah, that does help, actually.
To plug one's ears.
Well, it'll stop it from bothering you.
I see. You see, like, her kind of like push. She kind of like actually like passes her hands along her along the sides of where her ears would be, and you see like a perfectly formed sort of like glass, sort of like flat sort of block on both sides. I don't hear it now.
Perfect.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so you need to go away.
Okay.
I'll like telepathically. Okay, you have to release them to hear everybody else.
I see. I can just try to make pretend that I don't hear.
Sure. Do you not sleep?
Oh,
You don't
yes,
require
we
sleep?
do. We do. We usually pick a day.
Just one.
Yes. Once every sight of the moon.
Every month.
Moon month.
That's what
Yes.
we measure time. Full moon to full moon is considered month. Moon month.
Yeah. Apologies for there will be a lot of things that I will be a little confused on, but I promise you I'm a very fast learner. There are some things that we have learned from from one that you'll meet tomorrow. Unless you already have Cerilius.
Does that name sound familiar?
Not to me.
I don't think so. I don't think that name would ring a bell to anybody.
I do not believe I've had the pleasure of meeting. I truly look forward to meeting him.
Well, I'm sure he will be if he's not too tired.
Well, hopefully he gets some rest tonight.
Yes.
Hopefully we do.
We did let most of the village know that you were here, and actually,
They know we're coming.
Yes. Most are very overjoyed. I just realized now I was supposed to contact them and let them know that you mean us no harm. So.
No, we certainly do not.
Not at all. Oh, I'm not
Ada takes her hand off of her dagger.
I promise we're as happy to be here as you are to have us here.
I sincerely doubt that. It's been a very long time. But I am glad to know that you are also happy and not a danger to us. I'm not exactly sure what Orzai's doing out there, so I will just have him handle. Just excuse me one moment. And you see her kind of drift off away from you. I think, Ianthe, as you as you kind of like walked around and sort of gave her the tour of everything, you saw that her form started to kind of mimic the movement that you make when you're walking.
Okay. She was like levitating before.
Yeah, and she still is. She's just moving like her upper body is moving as if she's walking, like trying to kind of mimic your movement there. Like I said, she's extremely curious.
Well, that's not unusual at all.
Jed is just writing down everything that's like interesting about this. Like he's just sitting in the back, just listening, writing everything down.
What do you make of it?
Well, I think the two of them make us look normal. Well, human. Or elven, whatever.
People-y.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they seem nice enough, but then again, so did other groups that we've walked into. So.
She said they're overjoyed that we're here.
Right. Like, do they eat Leonin?
I don't think of that.
I don't know. I mean, if there's anything I've learned with New Moon is despite the fact that sometimes someone will try and kill you, give them the benefit of the doubt to start with. And they have been very friendly. So, and we were kind of told to come here. So here we are. Well, almost.
We were. Yeah.
So, but no, they both seem nice enough. I kind of like the guy. He and I have a little bit in common. I'm not gonna get between him and Grian, but I do want to chat with him.
I'd love to see you try.
Oh yeah, that would just be dangerous. So, but I would like some chat time with him. I think he seems interesting, not wanting spells cast on him.
Is Ada in the room? Chet would message Ada telepathically and say five gold on a deem. When they're talking about fighting.
This is between this in response. This is between Adim and
Sunboy.
Double. Yeah, double.
Double on
Sunboy
Sunboy?
can't hold shit. No, I agree with you, but yeah, sure. Double on Sunboy. Adim will win though. This is baby money. She does not know how to gamble, guys.
Yeah.
Cannon.
So good. Yeah, I think Iskar comes back, and Orzai comes back soon after. Yeah, I'll get that to you during break. As Orzai immediately kind of starts to like kind of just point at things and start at first to ask like Iskar what it is, and then Adim, assuming that you kind of like speak up and answer, will eventually just start asking you. Just looking at like I'd say like the markings on the wall, what they mean, that sort of thing. I'd say probably like the bath would be one that he was confused with.
I would definitely answer his questions to a level that I'm not giving away party secrets.
Mm-hmm.
But explain if it's just like what is that? The team tells him.
Yeah. You use point to the bath every day?
Me? No. I'd prefer a river or an ocean. He does put that there for me, but it feels too much like I'm in a cage.
Why would your body deal with those substances if you had to take them off every day?
Well, I don't. You'd have to ask somebody who does. I think also it's enjoyable.
Oh.
And when people don't, there's an odor that many people find offensive.
Offensive. It offends.
Yes.
I see. Strange.
Well, yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't. I think you actually hear like I don't understand why it would be someone else's business whether you bathe or not.
I think so. Having grown up underwater,
yeah, yeah, I don't think it's something you really had to worry about.
Yeah, I say it. Growing up underwater, I didn't really consider it, and given that I'm more water than anything else, I still don't really think about it. But I do recognize the scent that they talk about because I've traveled with non-genasi over time, and I've seen, not seen, although sometimes with Titian I've seen the smell. But the but yeah, it's that fur. It's a different kind of odor.
Yes. Well, your odor is not offensive to me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I find nothing uncomfortable about. I'm not even sure if can I smell him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it like brimstone or like what?
Yeah, it's very and I would say it's like it's strange. It's like your. I wouldn't say there's any like sort of like sulfurous sort of smell, but yeah, very brimstone, very like.
I said, I say your scent is very interesting. I don't find it offensive. I think Grian would find it very interesting.
I see.
And this is all in primordial, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Ada and Jet are like back behind the windows going like because I hear anything. Yeah. Cool. So I think there's a lot of that, of them really trying to kind of figure out like what makes you guys tick and working through that stuff, but also kind of just open to being able to answer any questions that you have. Of course, a lot of it being like you don't know what you don't know.
Right. I mostly just interact with either one of them as open as I can without giving away any secrets for the party. I'm still on defense mode. I'm just in nice defense mode.
You got it.
I turned over a quarter of a new leaf.
I think rather than just diving in, because again, I don't even know where to start asking questions. So I think whenever Uskar asks me a question, I sort of ask like the same, like, and what about you? Sort of starting to get a feel for things without even knowing where to start.
Yeah, give me a nature check.
I'm not good at those. Very nice. Nature. 3.
Okay, cool. With a 3, she'll explain a lot of things that seem to kind of correlate to the idea that you guys couldn't be more different, even though you guys look similar, like humanoid like. There's just a lot of things that seem to be related. What she will tell you is like we'll say there's like something where we talk about like so you use a bed to sleep every day what a large object to use for something that seems to be so superfluous, something you could do anywhere. And you like kind of explain the concept of like comfort and like rest and feeling like weary on something. And she will explain to you, she will just kind of say in a weird way, like, oh yes, every time there's been a drought, it has become very difficult. Sometimes I have to go home.
Do you not live here?
Oh, yes, I do. My primordial home.
And that's different than the village.
Do you only have one home?
Some have multiple homes. Some people have multiple homes. I have one. Which is different from this tower.
I see. But you sleep here.
I sleep here now.
You rest here.
I do.
Then then the traveling to my home world would be more akin to this tower. I live in Zajar.
All right.
My home is Zajar.
And where is your primordial home?
Oh, I believe you call it the, what is it? The material, the plane of water?
Oh. And you travel there easily?
Oh, yes. We have the spires, connections to each elemental plane. Well, almost all elemental planes. I also have connections in the earth plane as well, but I find that place to be not as beautiful. My brother would disagree. He likes to spend more time there than, well, can't go to the other.
Yes, I've interacted with a being from the other, and it didn't go well.
You
didn't match.
You interacted with someone from the plane of earth or fire?
Fire.
Ah, I see. Yes. Well, that is
Descended, long descended.
Oh, it is a difficult. They're some would say they're a different breed, I guess.
It felt that way. Yes.
Yes, we actually had a bit of a tricky situation the past few years where our spire for the plane of fire fell and shattered.
Oh no.
But
Due to an accident, or?
Well, in our village, it depends on who you ask. It doesn't seem like they're very quick on trying to build another on that side.
Oh. How interesting.
Yes.
So there's
Which
no
is why
connection.
yes. You'll also notice when we get there, most of the, because I believe on your world, there is mostly one element for the connection of the jinn or pieces of genasi.
Most of us are connected to one. my brother and I water, specifically.
Does he know?
So, yes.
Does he know who? I'm going to say Adim's far enough away because it would be an awkward sort of thing.
Yeah.
Does he know? Does he know his father?
That's a good question.
And what I assume to be your father?
Yes. Adim certainly knows him better than I do. Though I don't think either of us knows him particularly well.
They bear a striking resemblance to each other.
I didn't see it, but thank you.
Sorry, I was saying he bears a striking resemblance to his father.
You know our father.
Yes.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
He visited. He visits from time to time. He is part of his. I believe you call it a job. Calling. Quest. Design. It's one of those words. No.
Potentially. Has he been here recently?
Oh, I guess it's been a couple lunar cycles since we've seen him last. Yes, at least.
And as part of his job is what exactly? What is it that brings him here?
You hear her start to kind of explain things in terms of what sounds like a communicative ambassador. Someone that seems to have connections in multiple places in both the material world and the plane of water.
A diplomat. That makes perfect sense.
Diplomat. That's a fun word.
Seems rather appropriate.
Did I offend you with something? I apologize. I think I...
No, not at all.
Felt a change in the pressure.
I'm going to ask a question, and I apologize if it seems strange. Do you know your parents?
Yes.
And do you know them well? Do you like them?
I see. I do not know them very well. It's probably important to say that most of us here have foot in two camps, I believe is the word. We are the pieces of situations of love or whatever you want to call the connection. It's not that we're not welcome in these other planes, but it seems that our abilities of being able to be of two different races, species, I guess, has made our connection here much stronger.
I'm very happy to hear that. I also grew up afoot in 2 camps. Or I'm now learning I have a foot in 2 camps, and I am a being of 2 different worlds, and I only know one of them. And it's strange and frustrating to know that there's someone out there that could have known me and taught me, and who didn't, and left me and my sister and our mother on our own.
I see. Did you have a community to bring you up, to nurse you to adulthood?
I did. We had friends, neighbors, but they were part of one world, and now I've been thrust into this other world, and I feel as if I know nothing.
That is interesting. I know somewhat of what you mean. I find myself wondering what life would be like if I was simply one or the other. But I like who and what I am. It allows me, first off, to be one of the most lucky of our races to ever exist, and being the first to talk to your kind.
I suppose that makes us both lucky then.
That statement makes me very happy.
I'm happy you were the one to come speak with us.
Yes, you seem to... apologies if this is also strange, but it seems that you may have... you gave me a look like we had met before.
Oh. We haven't. I know we haven't. Have you ever met someone and known that you've never met them before, but they feel so familiar to you? Maybe you dreamt of them, and here they are in front of you, or something like that.
Well, I was tasked with meeting whoever came through that forest a long time ago, so... Yes, there were times when I wondered what would be coming out from that side. Would they look, seem, act as I do? Are they pretty? Are they strange? Do they have 4 limbs, or 2, or 8?
While we were traveling here, a voice was guiding me forward, helping me find the strength to continue the path, and I swear it was your voice.
Oh,
It sounds insane when I say it out loud, but maybe
I
that was
find that comforting. There's a point where you see her looking into your eyes a little too long, and then you see the moment of like just kind of like looking away. Well,
Do you eat food? We should probably go find something to eat.
no, but I can help or watch or not watch.
Great. We'll see what I don't even know what we have.
Can I help?
Please.
And we kind of like move from that scene as we see Ianthe and Iskar kind of walk off. And eventually, Green, what are you doing right now?
I was actually going to find Jet and see if he could look at the key for me before we go to bed.
Okay.
Certainly.
Yeah, I mean, since we're out of that forest, I don't know if you wouldn't mind just taking a look at this again. See if it does anything outside of that.
Sure. Give me
Crazy
just
place.
11 minutes to cast this spell. And Jet pulls out a pearl worth 50 gold pieces and then picks up the key and casts it over 11 minutes to cast Identify on it.
Okay. Cool. Jet, give me an Arcana check.
That is a 14 plus. That's 27.
Oh no.
You sit there looking at this seemingly simple contraption. Key itself existing of tongs and holes, and you see the marking of that strange sigil on top. As you cast Identify on it, you feel something course through you, something that feels similar in a way from finding magic items that are useful and interesting and intricate. It's that feeling of excitement that kind of pulls into the idea of you knowing something that most don't. As you stare deep into this key, trying to connect with it, to understand what its use is, you feel this rush, this heavy sort of mark. You feel your heart start to beat faster. That sort of fire in your breath feels like it pushes throughout your whole body. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 22.
Day 22, you try to kind of harness it and sort of strain your muscles into pushing through something that feels like an exertion equal to like running a mile, scaling a mountain. It's the excitement, the endorphins, the dopamine, the magic itself, whatever it is that's kind of coursing through you. It's almost more than you can take in this moment, especially in your not mechanically, but your exhausted state. But you're able to move through it. As you feel the key tell you all of what it can do. And with that, we'll take our 10-minute break. We'll see you guys in 10. And we are back. So yes. So anyways, what else are you guys doing? Just kidding. All right. So Jet, this is what you find that this key can do. Unbound teleportation. While holding this key, you can use an action to turn it in midair, opening a temporary silver doorway that allows you and up to 8 willing creatures to teleport to any location of your choosing, regardless of familiarity. The location must be one that exists in the current plane, but it does not need to be known to you. Once used, this property cannot be used again until the next dawn. If the key is used to teleport to a place that no longer exists, is hidden by powerful magic, or is blocked by divine intervention, the user experiences a momentary vision of its last known state before the key's magic fails. The silver key cannot be destroyed by mortal means, though its power may be sealed or suppressed by equally powerful magic. It is known as the Silver Key of the Unbound Path.
Okay, so Jet falls to his knee after just overcoming just overwhelming magic, and looks up at Grian and just kind of offers it up.
Yeah, what he said.
He's just gonna offer the key back to you, just like gingerly place it in your hand. So, that might be the most powerful magic I have ever seen in my existence. For an item, other than maybe you know who, but so basically, you can just hold it in the air and twist it, and anywhere you want to go, you can go, unless it doesn't exist. In which case, you'll kind of know where it is or where it was last, and well, unless there's something as powerful as this item. But this is and it's for more than just you. You open a door for like 8 people, wherever you want to go, once a day.
Like wherever?
Like as long as there's not like a deity or some very powerful magic stopping it. Yeah. You don't even have to know where it is.
Well, fuck, I wish we had this in the goddamn forest.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, you know, the forest might be the...
I think Green's just gonna turn around real quick so like the proverbial the forest is this way and just like flip it off and turn back around.
I think the forest was kind of stopping the sigil, right? So I don't think you could go into the forest, but you could probably come here or go wherever. We could go back to Dare's Wharf and you could go say hi to everybody, and then the next day come back.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. The next time you decide to give me something very powerful that's a magic item, please let me rest before I have to sit there and be absorbed by its power.
Dude, I was totally just gonna like hawk this, but like...
Jet's eyes just narrow into tiny little slits, and it looks like very snake, like just dead stare at him.
It's why I asked you first. I thought that it would probably be smarter to ask you first before I...
So what's it worth? Like $100 or...
Right, so like 150.
This is a priceless artifact.
Okay, well, I'll keep this on my persons then.
Jet's gonna like still like kind of low. He's going to do something very interesting. He's going to take a knee and hold his spear at his side, and he's gonna stare like up at Grian. I will protect you with my life. This is a secret that no one can know about. Do you understand that? They will hunt us. I mean, I guess we could just go wherever we wanted.
Yeah, like a day. Like, what are they gonna do? Yeah.
I mean, but
run real fast.
You have to understand, like no magical academy can know about this. Nobody can. Just sitting there like about to have a panic attack as he
Yeah,
stands
I
back
think
up.
the idea of like the dangers of having something like this and someone else knowing about it does hit you all at once, Jet. I love that.
Well, luckily, all the people I know are in this tower. I don't talk to or cut off for now. So I never really did school, so I don't really have connections there. So I think you're safe there. But Jet, we're a team. Like, I'll protect you too. It goes both ways.
Well, that's really nice. But all I mean is, there's very powerful people who, if they find this, they will, it will be, we'll be running again, and we kind of just stopped running and said we weren't going to do that anymore.
Well, I guess it's lucky we can go far, right? Go real far, real fast.
Jet, there is a moment where something hits you like a truck in realization. This isn't the only thing that you got out of this place.
Let's say, well, luckily we could do that, but unluckily enough, there's two other objects. And depending on how things go, maybe a fourth one.
Grips the spear and is like almost shaking.
Yeah, there's like a moment of like the idea of like understanding more and like having that excitement and that like thing of like there's something else that could be just as powerful and interesting, and then also dealing with the issues of something that could just take even more out of you.
It's that like I could stay up on YouTube till 3 a.m. No.
Yeah. Jet's trial is right now.
Jet just kind of looks at Green and goes, "I need to see them. I need to see them now."
You want to do that before you go to bed? I mean, Titian's have to take from his sleeping corpse, I guess.
Jet kind of like straightens himself and he's like, "Do you have any of that? Like, can you like tap me and make me feel a little better?"
I mean, I could like cure wounds you, but to do anything more than that, I need to go shopping.
Do you have anything that might like embolden or bolster?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'll take what I could get, even if it's just a pat on the back. Hey, I had that, and it's just like yelling through the tower.
Yeah.
Not Ada with cure wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna go sleep anyways. So I'll just pat him with little cure wounds and be like, I hope that's enough.
Oh, and he looks over and it's just like his scales start to kind of slide back into slide. He's like, that's nice. I had that. It's just yelling through the tower.
Is there someone in trouble?
Jet is either deeply in trouble or has an inane question, and it could be either of those things.
Goddamn.
I see.
He'll come find me.
Oh, okay.
Jet scurries down the tower to try to find Ianthe.
Clarification, did Ianthe say innate question or inane question?
I heard inane.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, inane.
Yep. Hey, Ianthe, can I borrow that thing that we got out of the woods real quick? I just looked at Grian's and it's really cool. I wanted to see if yours is really cool too.
Oh, yeah, I think I stuck it under my bed.
Jet scurries up, doesn't even finish the conversation, scurries up the stairs or the ladder to try to find it.
Cool. What was under your bed?
Oh, some trinket that I picked up through the journey.
Oh, I see.
It was magic while we were there, but it hasn't done anything since then, so I don't think it's really worth anything.
Understood. So what are we making here?
We are tempting fish, but we only have dried fish, and I'm also a really bad cook, so...
Is this the fish in the forest?
Oh no, I just
Okay.
picked something that
Not
she
the
might know how to
fish.
cook. Which is
Okay,
fish.
good. Yeah. Because that...
We're cooking fisha?
In my head, it's like fish jerky that she's like trying to rehydrate.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, that's much better. Yeah, because those fish are very, 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 very rotten. Very rotten.
If Adine hears her say that, just as a comment to forgot his name, but I'll call him
Orzai?
O.
Yeah.
Orzai.
I just go, I don't know why she always insists on cooking the fish. And then go back to our conversation.
It's
Beautiful,
all I know
yeah.
how to cook.
As Orzai questions what cooking is, but if you explain like burning something with fire, it's a pretty easy explanation. Like he understands immediately once you start to say stuff with that. All right, Jet, you go to the mirror. I mean, DC's higher.
That's okay. We can do this.
All right.
First off, he's going to see if it's still magical, because it was cursed at one point, and then he's just going to kind of just do like a... Does he get like a magic-y vibe off of it still?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just going to take a deep breath, and...
Are you going to have anyone with you while you do this?
Is anybody in the upstairs at the moment? Anybody just be hanging out upstairs? I know Titian's there.
Dead to the world.
Question: if Titian's unconscious, do I still get his aura if I hear him?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I don't even care if mechanically that works. Absolutely not.
Jet goes, Grian, can you come up here?
Yeah, and he'll kind of like clamber
Peter's
up.
upstairs.
Well,
Oh, wow. I didn't even see you there.
Cat blending in.
Rogue.
That's fair.
Rogue.
What's up, Jet?
So you know how last time when I had the key, I was kind of like, it like pushed me down to the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Can you just keep an eye on me?
Yeah.
If I like start to... If my scales start to be ripped off of my body and I begin to explode, can you just like, just knock me out really quick?
Wait.
Yeah, I can do that.
Ripped off of
Thank
your
you.
body and exploding.
I'm gonna take my pack weapon real quick and turn it into a frying pan, just like ready to go.
Yes.
Beautiful. I've never
It is
heard of
gonna
a
prep a
better
cure
way.
wounds.
Yeah.
It is gonna prep a cure wounds.
And Chet's going to attempt to cast Identify over 11 minutes on this thing.
Beautiful. All right.
Arcana
Give me.
check.
Yep. Arcana check first.
28.
Beautiful. Once again, you feel that similar sort of surge of power coming from this mirror. You see at first that you can see your own reflection, and then you see there's like small changes that seem to kind of start to form in your face. Your eyes seem to change color, go duller, go brighter. And I need that Constitution saving throw.
Here comes the one, guys. Nope. That's significantly better than a 1. That's almost the opposite of a 1. That is a 19, 20, 21, 22.
Again,
22.
yay.
Okay. DC was 20.
I can't do another one, guys. I'm sorry if it goes up again. That's just...
As you look at this mirror and you see for a moment, there's this moment actually in your view of this that you get extremely like the idea of taking something like this that you know is precious and probably worth just as much as the key and what it can do and what it can bring. When you see it start to fracture and break and splinter in your hands, words cannot express how the terror and shame that starts to kind of like come from you of like, I was just holding it, I didn't do anything, what, like, and then you see it start to
sweat.
Yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah, just comes down. Yep. The rest of you see a perfectly clean mirror. Jet, you notice that the fracture seems to kind of come from one side, goes over to the other, and then kind of crisscrosses and comes back. But then you notice that it starts to kind of like heal itself back up in a different way than when it started.
Kind of like a puzzle box, like a jigsaw kind of thing going back and forth, but just like rotating.
Oh, the pieces don't necessarily move, but they heal in different sort of like so it breaks from one area coming down, and then it'll heal from another area, not from like the same one. It's like, so it's not necessarily like based on the idea of like healing over time. It's like it's fracturing and healing itself from different sort of points in time of where it broke. If that makes sense.
Okay.
This is called the Silver Mirror of the Fractured Path. A beautifully polished silver mirror with an ever-shifting reflection, the glass holds a faint shimmer of the past, capturing glimpses of moments that have also yet to happen. The wielder may use an action to activate the mirror's power, rewinding time to the beginning of the current day. Only the user retains memories of the events that transpired, while the rest of the world resets. No physical objects, injuries, or magical effects are carried over, only the wielder's knowledge. When used in this way, the mirror shatters into pieces, rendering it useless until it can be repaired by a powerful enchanter in Zajar.
Jet drops it on the bed and backs away from it. He's just like, nope, 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 nope.
Just going to hit him with the cure wounds almost immediately.
Yeah, you do that. There's one extra piece. If the mirror is held up to another creature, it may reflect a hidden truth or a forgotten memory, revealing something about the target that they themselves may not recall. This property can be used once per long rest. So the first property can be used once before it shatters. The other one can be used once per long rest.
So what we're saying is that should we walk into a TPK,
all it takes is one of us to grab the mirror.
Is one of us to reset it.
You have to be attuned to it, but yes.
So whoever's attuned to it cannot die. Everybody else can die, that's fine, but whoever's attuned to it cannot die.
Holy shit.
Chet's gonna like just drop it onto the bed and just like hands up, he's just gonna back away and he looks at Green and he goes, do not touch that, please. Just do not. Just don't mess with it.
What does it do?
You can show it to somebody and then they like reveal their deepest, darkest secrets kind of thing, right? Or you can show it to yourself and you can know things that you've forgotten. Or you can break it and wake up in the same day but know everything and nothing else does.
Like a reset?
Yes.
Okay, let's put that mirror back. I need someone to not touch it until tomorrow. Because like hell, I'm going back to that forest.
That's exactly right. That's why Jet dropped it. As soon as he said it, it's like, nope. Nope.
So no one touches that mirror.
Yeah.
No one, you say, as she just goes to put one finger on it.
Jet doesn't have any spell
Like
slots.
a cat batting a cup off the counter.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Beautiful.
So it's Ianthe's. How do we tell her and get her away from the other person without them knowing? You know what I'm saying?
I think we tell her tomorrow. Let's.
That's a good idea. Let's not touch it.
Yeah.
Can we?
You've examined the key. Sorry, go ahead.
Can we put it in? Can we roll Tishian over and put it in the bag so that nobody messes with it?
You want to touch his fanny pack?
Well, it's a bag of holding.
You want to touch his fanny pack of holding?
But I don't want anybody to touch the mirror and accidentally put us back in the woods.
I mean, you could put it back underneath her bed.
But now
Or
you
we
two
could,
know about
I mean, honestly, I mean, honestly, I'm down to roll Tishian over.
Yeah, let's.
Or we. Oh, wait, he's talking out of here. I'm sorry. He's talking to Orzai.
Jet's gonna wrap it in the sheets, like very gingerly, like put it very like delicate.
I guess it's hard. Like, is Tishian? Can I look at Tishian's sleeping body and see if he's laying on the fanny pack, or if it's like at his side?
He said he went face first. That's all I'm saying.
I think
so
he's
probably
laying
laying on it.
I don't want to wake him.
To me neither. He might be angry.
Okay, let's just put it back under her bed for right now. We tell no one.
Jet takes a pillow and puts it underneath the mirror as he's like very gingerly. Okay. So he's got a coin. I could try it. It's up to you.
I think we'd have to search his person for it first. I don't know where he put it.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It could be in the fanny pack.
That can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Chet is going to write. He's going to go to his study and not mess with anything else for the rest of the day and just write down about these artifacts and in great detail in his spellbook.
Okay. You got it. As you're writing this down, Jet, that same sort of familiar sort of thing kind of comes to you of like the idea of comparatively, the key. Yeah, that's dangerous. The mirror? That could be catastrophic.
This is like the thing that Codex was looking for, basically.
And Codex might have one of his own, so...
Well, no, if we got the mirror, then he got something else, right?
Right.
The question is, can he get here without all of them, right? We needed 3 to get here?
I mean, that was just us. If he went in by himself...
That's fair.
He could have had his own trials to face. Trial.
That's fair. Should I stay with it and put a bubble around it? That seems like overkill.
Yeah, probably not.
That seems like it would give away our position more.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So probably not draw attention to us or it.
I mean, I could make it clear, and then if anybody tried to get in that wasn't one of us, they would just hit it like a window. That would be funny.
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, but I have to stay within 20 feet of it when I cast the spell.
Just do it before we go to sleep. That's fine. We're in the...
But I have to stay within 20 feet of it the whole time, which means I can't be in my room.
Do we have like individual rooms? Because I thought it was like one.
No, everybody else is sleeping there. Jet sleeps on his couch.
Nowhere in the barrack.
I mean, is it 20 feet up? Or did that count?
That's fair. I could just move the couch underneath the bed so it doesn't hit the bed, but it's just...
Jet and Green are just like pushing the couch.
Cut to Green and Jet moving furniture.
Left. My finger.
Meanwhile, the food is probably done.
It's not good.
The prish is probably done.
The prish is
the
done.
The prisha is cooked.
Adim, what do you think you've been talking about with Orzai?
One of the questions I want to ask, I mean, I'll roleplay it. Can I ask you possibly a personal question?
Yes. Yeah.
So you and Iskar are brother and sister, your siblings?
Yes. We are all related in some way.
I see. I notice you have aspects of both earth and fire, correct?
Correct. I have 2 homes.
Do either of you or do any of the residents of Zajar have parentage from here? Like me and my sister?
Oh. Parentage, no. Some of us were conceived here.
So all of you are, in one way or another, completely elemental. And I'm looking for the best primordial words to say this because I'm not sure.
Yes, you could put it that way. Yes.
Oh. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that was possible. Okay.
It is not a very common thing in either of our original planes, which all of the material planes, or all of the elemental planes, kind of like looks at you in a way of like trying to figure out whether or not this would either blow your mind or not interest you whatsoever, as it could be either or.
I wait.
Your plane of existence is it works while being whole in and of itself. It works in a way similar to a magnet, where
I know magnets.
the other planes are attracted to this one.
Really?
Yes.
So, like, when... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
No, that's
trying to wrap my brain around this. It's not a very big one.
Especially for the elemental planes, that rings true as well. That's why there's so many, for lack of a, with all respect, half species of creatures that are connected from other planes.
Yeah, like me and Ianthe.
Yes.
Okay.
With those of us who are connected to two elemental planes, the pull is much stronger here.
Oh, interesting. Is that the case? Because I've been to another plane once, I think. Joe, I'm discounting what happened with me and my father because I'm still not convinced it was real. A demon's trying to shut that one out until he can find out for sure. He's trying not to go down that path, especially with a stranger. There's a plane I think we went to called the Shadowfell. Does that also have an attraction to here?
Yes, there is many planes of the ethereal plane itself, but the kind of sub-dominant sort of qualities find this place to be particularly interesting.
Does anyone... That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Does anyone know why?
There are many stories on how your world has come to be, not your plane. This world itself was built by our ancestors.
Oh. Nice to meet you. I kind of grin.
It was quite a long time ago, I've been told. There is something about a creator's connection to its creation that seems to be passed along in the idea of responsibility, as well as credit. In other words, it is not clear who made this plane and what for, but it has been highly sought after for both the responsibility of it and the credit.
Really?
Yes.
And I just kind of muse for a moment in my own head, like literally, like, who would want that responsibility? I don't say it out loud, but I'm like, who in the world would want that? That was, I mean, I will continue talking to him. But that was the one, I mean, about whatever he wants or just chatting. But that was the one question I wanted to ask about the members of Zajar, the residents of Zajar. So are they partially this plane? And they're not. So actually, I will ask them something else.
Sure.
Based on that, I said, I don't know your town, city, your community. And I saw that your sister was excited that we came through the forest. Are those not connected to an elemental plane? Or my sister and I, because we have one foot on this plane, will we encounter any difficulties within Zajar because of that difference to your people?
An interesting question. The stigma of one's belonging is something that the material plane seems to consider to be very important.
Yes, sadly.
I do not believe you would find that sort of stigma here.
That is very good to hear. Thank you for telling me that.
Oh, quite welcome. It's the truth. Our connections to this plane, while there are many other sort of ways of travel and connection to moving through the elemental planes, this Zajar is the easiest.
I assume there must be others. I mean, my auntie and I were not born in Zajar, so there have to be other ways to get back and forth.
Yes, of course. And admittedly, a number of years ago, all would have been more than welcome to pass through unadulterated in any way, except for a circumstance that has been curiously deemed an accident.
Oh, you mean the forest?
No. You see him kind of look over at Iskar then. That will have to wait for another day.
Oh, okay. No problem. I figured that the forest was something you guys put up to make sure people didn't get through. So
roll me an insight check.
okay. Because the Deem's so good at that. Let me see what he gets. Insight. Where is that? There it is. 6.
Okay. You see his face seems to kind of like shift in a way you haven't seen before. Not really sure what the emotion is that's kind of correlating with. Why would we want to do that?
I don't know. I mean, at least the people of this place where I've been born and raised, people tend to put up barriers to protect their people and will fight. Well, given that we had been told that nobody had ever entered the forest and come back out again, we were thinking At least I shouldn't say we. I can't speak for the rest of New Moon. I was considering the forest like a wall. That to get to the other side, we had to fight, prove ourselves worthy, something to get to the other side. The forest itself and Zajar, quite frankly, this is all a mystery to people on the other side of the forest.
An unfortunate decision not made by our kind, I promise you.
Well, it was certainly a trip, and we might, I don't know. We lost something in the forest, so we'll see what happens. I'm not done looking.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I appreciate that, but I'm used to not finding what I seek. So, doesn't mean I stop. Kind of like water. I just keep pressing at something, eventually I'll get through.
Then I have no doubt you will find it.
Thank you. About Green.
Yes.
And I want to ask him, I don't need to roleplay this, but I want to start saying, you mentioned you were going to find a way to have a communication with him because he doesn't speak Primordial. How would you go about doing that? What I try to draw it over to Grian and like what a nice guy he is.
Yeah.
I'm totally playing wingman for Grian right now.
Beautiful. I love it. He do you, he kind of like talks about the idea of like, do you have something to write on? Maybe we can communicate in that way. But you also kind of get the idea too, like of like a you get a conceptual sort of idea that there's no clear representation of Orzai wanting a physical relationship with anybody right now. Yeah.
And that's totally cool. But I'll let Green figure that out, and I'll warn him.
Yeah.
But I still want to give Green a shot. I will mention because I've seen Green do this. Even way back in Or and prior to Or, the city, the dwarven thing. I've seen him that he can read anything. So when he mentions writing, I say I know that my friend Green can read anything written, although he can't speak it. So. I don't know that he can write back that way, however, but I know he can read anything that's written. So
you see him kind of like reach down, grab a piece of rock, and then run his hand along it, and primordial language starts to form along it, like much quicker than it would be for him to just write it down.
Right. That would work for Grian. I can read it too, but this is easier to talk.
Right. Well.
But then I'll kind of, now that I know what he's thinking, so I know what to tell Grian, I will then go back and conversate about other things, like just chatting and.
Beautiful. Yeah. Cool. I'll say, assuming you guys have like a light sort of dinner before you hit the hay. Yeah. Anything else before you guys go to sleep? Iskar and Orzai offer to I think there's probably like a certain point in time where like a watch is like suggested, and you hear like, I think you hear Iskar kind of like chuckle a little bit at that, but then they both say like, oh, we can keep watch, that's totally fine.
And we trust these people. That's the general consensus. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just.
Ada, are you asking?
Oh yeah, Ada has no tact in this situation. Yeah. She's fully in front of them. We've gone through a significant amount of horrors. She kind of gesticulates wildly. I'm just saying, we walk into the city and outside of this city and just trust people.
Well, I just look at Ada and just nod and say, I, for one, and then look at the other two, would love to continue my conversation with you. So maybe there are others who'd like to talk to you as well. And I said, maybe I can stay up for a while and keep chatting, i.e., I'll take first watch.
Beautiful. You see, Orzai takes this. No problem. Orzai's like, yeah, that makes sense, 100%. Why did you guys trust us? That totally. Anthony, you've been with Iskar long enough to see Iskar kind of just get a little sad.
I'll like whisper to her. I'm not going to do telepathically. I'll just whisper to her. Don't take it personally. He doesn't trust anyone.
Oh. Says to you in Primordial. What a horrible way to go throughout life.
It's exhausting, is what it is.
I understand. I'm very excited to make that trust happen.
Talk to him about ships. Do you know anything about ships?
Ships.
I know about water.
Talk to him about that. It's a start.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell him why he almost drowned during the forest thing. I don't know if Ada actually heard that conversation, but
I think you did. I think you heard it when you were walking through the tunnels.
absolutely she heard a Deem say that. I don't know if she can hear the conversation between Iskar and
right.
Ian.
Yeah. I don't know. Iskar
she is
said
a cat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Comprehend languages. Has it been
is it up?
I mean, I would assume so.
Probably would have like recast it anyways if we're sitting at dinner, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I like it. Yeah, cool. You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard it, and you also heard her speak in Primordial to try and hide it.
Great. Then I think that nobody knows that Comprehend Languages is up for her until she responds with, in common, just maybe you can tell him why he almost drowned in the trials.
Well, and if Ada heard it, did Dean hear that comment too?
Yes.
Primordial, and I let it go because I'm like, she's not wrong. So.
Not a DM being like, actually, this bitch.
You see Iskar just mortified, and like a look of just sincere apology, and just like a little bit of like shame, in realizing what she did.
It's funny because I don't think that Ada like intends.
Yeah.
Like I think she's just being blunt.
Right. Yeah. I love it. But for her, it's like cuts like a knife. I'm so sorry. That was
Ada or me.
Good night, Ada.
That was so rude of me. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. We're all tired and everyone is a little on edge. It's been a difficult few days. I promise, don't take it personally.
I smile at her and be like, I'll be right back down, and I did not take offense. My sister is completely correct. And I will walk Green back up to the tower, tell him about the writing, and the fact that I don't think that Ozai is interested at all in any way, shape, or form, anything that he would have to do. But give it your best shot. I tried. And then I will come back down and continue the conversation and have first watch.
As Adim's talking about that, Jet's going to walk over to Green and say, I got you for an hour, buddy, and tap him on the shoulder and cast tongues. So you can now understand and speak any language, as long as you can speak one language.
Why don't you do that when it's Green's watch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he wants to.
I mean, I'm just going to sleep through the night.
It's the name of the spell, man. It's the name of the spell. I don't choose the name of the spell. That's the name of the spell. Like chill touch. Chill touch. It doesn't touch. It's not cold. Don't make no sense.
That's true.
Beautiful. Cool. So Deem, you take first watch.
Yeah, and I do not need to roleplay the entire conversation with everybody unless you have something specific you want to say. I'll just chat and keep watch.
I think I'm gonna roll. Okay, cool. She does say to you, I think the conversation is polite enough, and I would say like probably like friendly enough even. That she says at a certain point when like it seems like the morale of the conversation is high enough, she goes, You look like him, you know.
He just sighs a little bit. I've been told that, and I think I saw an image of him in the forest, and he did appear to look like me. I don't know much about him though. Snippets here and there. Sometimes I can talk to him through this, but I heard he died. I'll point to the amulet. So I don't know who I'm actually talking to. May have spoken to a god once about him. I don't know.
You heard that he died how long ago?
And Joe, you'll tell me this because your game is timey-wimey. We've been in it for years, but X number of days, weeks, months.
Yeah, I would say it's probably maybe like 3 weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay, so 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I think, he was possessed by some creature that seems really powerful on this plane. I don't know what it is exactly. And another group of, I'm not sure if you know the word adventurers, but maybe mercenaries like us, dealt him a killing blow when he was possessed, and then one of them delivered this amulet to me because it said for a deem. So I have it, and every now and again I can reach out. I assumed I was talking to his spirit, which is why I was talking to him in that undead forest behind us. Sorry, that might be too much. I'm sorry.
No, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have met the real guy, but I got to talk to a fake one in the forest instead. It was hard. Seemed very real, but
An entity that could possess a Shara Nas must be incredibly powerful.
I've heard that we fought him while he was possessing something in the Shadowfell, one of our friends actually, and he was pretty powerful. He killed one of us. So, one of my friends. Well, should have been one of my friends. That's my mistake.
It can be a very cruel world who passes from it.
Usually is. But you've been very kind, as has your brother.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why is my father famous enough that you know who he is enough that I look like him? I'm just one Genasi on this planet. I'm not that big of a deal. I throw things. So, why you're this? Well, there's one of the visions seemed to know who I was, but everyone knew who I was when I was going through whatever the hell that was. So,
from my understanding from Cerilius, your connection with time revolves around 12 lunar cycles equaling I believe it's called a year.
Yes.
Adim, I have been in existence for about 500 of them.
Ooh. Well, then I'm a child.
Well,
you got me.
The reason why I say this is my task, my reason for my existence truly is to be here to greet and welcome when the time came to be.
Okay.
You are one of 6 that have come through here. So forgive me for saying, but It is simply untrue in the idea of how you view yourself and your importance to what some would consider to be the fate of things.
I appreciate that, but it still doesn't matter. Not doesn't matter. He didn't say that's not what the word. I'm not sure the age that you have given me still belies the reason why you can recognize me from my father, given I'm sure there's more than one Marid floating around the elemental plane of water.
Apologies,
I'm not mad.
I understood the question. It hurts me to know that for you to not know how important you all are.
Well, we're all important. I mean, but in the scope of, okay, I know a total of 6 Genasi, 5 that are living. And every single other one of them seems to be more competent magically and in combat than I am. I know I'm young, but I don't see that changing at all. So why this was given to me and not one of my sisters baffles me. Why? I mean, it's the luck of the genes, I guess, that I look like him. But why, if you've lived for 500 years, do you know him so well that you recognize him in me? If he's one of many. I don't know. It's less self-deprecating, more just confusion. I just grow things. And I can make water move. Sometimes boil it for tea. I'm not that great.
Yeah. I think she looks at you and says, in my very limited studies of the mortal species that exist on this plane, one thing that becomes abundantly clear is there are those that think themselves to be more important to the wheel of time than they truly are. And there are those that refuse to understand how important they are. I think that maybe there's a possibility that it is not your destiny to know of your importance, but to be told.
Okay, well, then I'm looking forward to learning something, I guess. Can I roll insight really quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm wondering two things. It's been longer than a minute for both of them. First of all, I want to know if they're fighting and what level they are. But the other thing I really want to know with insight is she avoiding answering my question?
Yeah, she's not. She's
okay.
Yeah, I think she's focused. Go ahead and roll me insight anyways.
Okay.
She's focused on the part of the question.
A second time, I rolled another 6, and that's the only time I've rolled. I've rolled 2 6s in a row. I'm just roll a third time. I'll keep the 6, but I want the guy is stuck on the 6.
Yeah, so sure.
No, I rolled a 7. Okay, so the 6 will stand. Okay, it's not the 6. Okay. I'm like, is D&D beyond?
Does a D want my inspiration?
Yeah.
I have inspiration I can use, but I'm not touching it yet.
I will say the insight that you glean is that she seems to be she doesn't seem to be like trying to necessarily like I would say the first time she kind of talked about it, she was probably trying to kind of give you an idea of like a perspective, like you are much more important than you think you are. Mm-hmm. Now she's trying to explain more the idea of like fate is a funny thing. Maybe the reason why you're so important is because you don't think you're important.
Right.
And you're, you know.
And I will not really counter with, because I want to let her know that it's not so much complete self-deprecation, although
Right.
Dean wouldn't use that word. It's too big of a word for him. But it's more along the lines of, no, I don't think I'm useless. Like I like who I am. If the forest did nothing else, I know who I am. I think I know better now that I've gotten out, and I like who I am. I see what others can do, and I will never match it. And before she says anything else, that's okay. But it begs the question.
Right.
And so, it's not like, oh, I'm terrible. They just keep me around because I suck. They're feeling sorry for me. That's not where Dean's going. I am the teleports through space and now apparently time with the mirror. Grian can fly. Titian is this hulking man being of holy power. Jet makes dragon teeth come out of nowhere, and I drown as a water genasi. And I know I know that I'm using a lot of hyperbole, and I will add when as I'm going through all that, I say, but I didn't drown. I could have drowned, and I didn't drown. So it's not that I'm terrible. I'm just not them. And I know Orzai's here too, and this isn't a private conversation. Like
he's being quiet.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm very much like, it's not secret. I am speaking in primordial, just because Nadim is very much enjoying the fact that he can talk to people and they talk back. In primordial, he's like, oh,
yeah,
yes.
I think there's also a level too that, like, I think Iskar was enjoying being able to practice in speaking the common tongue, but feels much more relaxed in speaking the primordial. You know what I mean?
We can always do a language exchange. She can speak to me in common. I can speak back in primordial.
Yeah. No, I think she's pretty tuckered out with all that. So I don't know. I'm not. Maybe it's not my place to qualify that. But
just what runs through my head when things. Occasionally, my brain works pretty well, and that's what runs through my head when it does. So, I may have gotten hit a few extra times in battle.
All I can tell you is that my tasks that I've been given, I consider to be this is the greatest day of my life.
Well, I'm honored to be part of it.
And I think this should be a great day for you as well.
It is. We got through. Well, most of us made it. What's the likelihood of us going back in there? And then you can stop that conversation if you want, because he's not too and scene. Because he's still and Prisha, because Kay hasn't given me an answer yet. So he's still good.
100%. So we cut from that. I will say she will, without role playing, she will answer the idea of why does she seem to recognize? She's seen Ashar a lot over the course of 500 years.
Dean finds that interesting that he's been on the plane for that long, and he doesn't say this out loud, but then wonders, how many siblings do I have? Oh my god.
He doesn't. She will say that he doesn't seem to stay anywhere for long. Which you're like, yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Really?
All right. Cool. I'm gonna roll a d6 here. That's interesting. As the rest of you all are heading to bed, going to sleep, you all start to drift off in a way. Ada, how's your sleep? Where do you... I know you have a bed now. But is it comfortable? Is it like...
I think Jet doesn't know her very well. And so I think when he makes her a bed, it is too hard. I think she looks like a rogue. She looks like a battle-worn warrior, like a little bit, like maybe as far as the wizard is concerned. But she was a housewife for years. Like, I think that she, a little bit like Ianthe, really likes the luxury and like the soft and the pillows and like the down comforter. And so it's definitely better than a campfire on the ground. But I think that there's like a grief that kind of keeps her only half asleep. And I think that she tosses and turns and she ruminates on her trial a little bit, or on, I guess, Titian's trial a little bit too much, seeing the statue of her husband, like just a face that isn't real, that she hasn't seen for a decade, and that she didn't get the answers that she wanted. So I think it's a fitful sleep.
Okay. You go.
Yeah.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Actually, Wisdom saving throw.
Joe, that's a 6.
Yeah. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. As you drift off, you start to dream. You dream that you're in a forest, and that in and of itself is enough to be... yeah, I rolled a 5, guys.
I'm back in the building again.
That in of itself does feel like that moment of like you're in that blackened forest, but this feels different. Everything feels brighter. There's light emanating from, at first, what seems to be all around. And that's when you see a figure moving towards you. This figure's beautiful. Blinding. Hard to see. The eyes a bright gold. The hair shining down. It could be blonde. It could be just light itself. The figure itself seems to be... you don't see much of like... there's a long sort of extended dress that seems to disappear into the ether surrounding her. I have a message for you.
Who are you?
Not someone you need to worry yourself about.
That's delightfully cryptic. What's the message?
I have a message from Prisha.
Oh. I don't think that message is for me.
Are you not a member of her party? Or their party?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yes. What is the message?
I love you.
That's it.
Is that not enough?
Okay. Are you judging me for thinking it isn't?
Judging is what I do, dear.
I can tell. Well, thank you. I will pass the message along.
You don't seem too affected by it.
I hear the dead in my dreams constantly.
I see. Well, this is a message from the dead, but not from their death.
Like an actual. Okay, that is
Yes.
kind of weird.
I found your disinterest extremely boring. So now that you are interested, you have me hooked. Why are you... The message I sent out was to Prisha was much more emotionally connected.
I do not know the girl. I joined her party afterward. Although everybody else here seems to think she was something wonderful that walked the earth, but if that was the case, then why is she dead?
I like you.
What's not to like?
I have never had as much fun with mortals as I have had today.
Lucky day for you.
Indeed. I'll keep my eye on you as much as I can.
That sounds awful.
It may prove handy for the days to come.
Thank you then.
Get some sleep, Ada. You feel the forest start to kind of pull away from you. And you wake up.
Doing the opposite of what she told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it morning?
Nope.
Oh, okay. I'm going back to bed.
Actually, sorry, yeah. Cool. As you try to go back to sleep, you have difficulties sleeping.
And I'm not gonna go back to sleep. I hate her. I hate her so much. Okay, I think she goes, I keep changing the accent.
You're good.
I think she's gonna slip out of the barracks and head downstairs. And sit by the fire for a little bit. And just polish the pauldron that she's gotten. Just
okay. Yeah. Roll me a perception check. Or an insight check, actually.
Keep changing it to the thing that I don't think I'm very good. No, never mind. That's fine. Well, no, it's awful. Thank you. Appreciate. It's a 9.
Okay. With a 9, you focus on your pauldron. You see the Iskar is kind of off, staring up at the clouds in the dark night. You see Orzai kind of staring out into the forest. He's a little closer to you, probably, but maybe only 10 feet or so, maybe like 15. He seems to be, I mean, you came over here to sit by the fire, and that's where he was. So, Ada, this is what you don't see. As the camera kind of pulls back and seeing where's I, moving his gaze from the forest to Ada, staring intently. You see his head just kind of cock slightly to the side. As Ada continues to be unaware. And with that, we'll end tonight's session. See you guys next week.